your mark.
On your mark.
Get set.
Get set.
Now ready.
Ready, go.
Provocative, engaging, and usually quite a lady.
Okay, they're asking for it.
Hey, welcome to Deborah Rose Podcast. Actually, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here and even gladder that I'm here. Believe it or not, I am. All right, it's late. I'm doing this podcast rather late tonight, so we're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it sweet. But most importantly, I want to hit this topic because we only have like 26 days remaining before the election, and I personally feel I would be remiss, I would be derelict in my duties as an American if I did not at least talk about Kamala Harris before the election. If nothing else, than to get it off my chest. We are playing games. We're playing around here. We have got to stop playing around. I almost feel as though it's like some sort of cloud is over everybody. It's like, do we not see what's happening here? Do we not see the state of what's happening in America today? What's happening in our country? And if we're going to change courses, then we're going to have to be very intentional about who we select and what we expect of them. Now, if you don't think that there's anything really wrong with the country right now, then I guess you're fine. Keep your head in the cloud and everything's going to be okay. Not really, but you can feel that way. My issue right now is how, if we are not careful, we are going to let Kamala Harris slip into the White House. A woman who has not shown any ability to run this nation. She just has not. She has kept secret. She has kept hidden her beliefs, her positions on the key issues, except for just until maybe, 3 weeks ago? Because since she first was selected to replace Joe Biden, because keep in mind, she has not received one single vote. But since she was selected, when you would go on that campaign website, there was nothing there except, please donate money so we can defeat Donald Trump. Nothing on her position on the economy, crime, healthcare, abortion, you name it, foreign policy. There was just nothing there. I'm surprised they didn't have that audio clip there so people could feel good. The vibes are, so good. So she must be okay. No, it doesn't work that way. This is how we got into the mess we're in right now. Joe Biden did very, very little in the way of campaigning when he first ran for president. Yeah, but he still beat Donald Trump. Okay, I'm not going to even debate that right now. The point is, he didn't have to say anything because our media didn't demand that he say anything. All right, they asked him a few questions. Yeah, they did. Hey, wait, what's your favorite ice cream, Mr. President? Hey, Mr. President, do you wear boxers or briefs? They did nothing to assist the American voter in learning what he stood for. We were just to assume. Because, after all, he's good old Joe. And he was vice president for 8 years. Jack. But here they go again. So Kamala Harris, she has avoided serious interviews by serious people just up until, last Sunday on 60 Minutes? Thank God for Bill Whitaker. He is the only serious journalist that she has talked to, and the only journalist that she's talked to who actually pressed her. Normally, they wind it up and they toss her the softball questions, like when she was with Dana Bash. I think they say Donna now, but or however they pronounce it, but Dana Bash from CNN. I mean, it was pathetic watching it. And then she had Walls with her, I guess a pinch hit, I don't know. But it was silliness. It meant nothing. No, that's not good enough. We have to get serious. We must. All right, so earlier this evening, I was reading some polling data from the Pew Research Center, and they listed the top issues that voters care about for this upcoming election. And they listed the economy, healthcare, Supreme Court appointments, foreign policy, violent crime, immigration, guns, abortion, racial/ethnic equality, and climate change. They say those are the top issues that voters mention when polled. What I found very interesting is that when you break it out, likely Trump supporters and likely Harris supporters, those issues, and if I just mention the top four, they're quite different. Keep in mind, they're selecting those issues from the list. But the top issues for Trump supporters, number one is the economy. Likely Trump supporters or likely Trump voters say the number one thing I care about is the economy. Number two, immigration. Number three, violent crime. And number four is healthcare. And then I turned and I looked at the issues that are of key interest to likely Kamala Harris voters. Number one, healthcare. Number two, Supreme Court appointments. Number three, the economy, followed by 1 percentage point, abortion. This is way down on the list. Only 39% of likely Kamala Harris voters say they care about immigration. Immigration is not a big deal for them. Only 39% say it's very important. 62% say climate change. So that got me to thinking even more. Maybe there's a reason why we don't see very many stories on ABC, CBS, NBC when it comes to the economy and hearing anything from Kamala Harris on it. Now, she did swipe a plan by Donald Trump, and that's to not tax tips. He mentioned it, and then 2 weeks later, she claimed it as her idea. It wasn't her idea, and nobody challenged her on it, at least not on any of those networks. But she has said scant few things about the economy, except for we need a fair economy. We need an economy where people can live middle-class lives because, I grew up in a middle-class neighborhood. Yeah. And that's basically what we've been getting. On immigration, you have heard very, very little in terms of a news story and hearing what Kamala Harris has to say about her plans, other than, we had a plan. And Donald Trump, he stopped it. He told his Republican allies to kill it. Joe and I, we came up with that plan. No, Republicans weren't going to support it. And the one guy that they keep saying he was one of the most conservative Republicans, he was on this bill with the president. Really? Okay, we'll give them that. But most Republicans said no. And Donald Trump did call and say, stand your ground. Why is that? Because we really never really hear why Trump and the other Republicans really weren't supporting it, even though they said the border guard agents, they all supported it. Not really. Top brass, yeah. Because they had an artificial number in place, and I think it was somewhere like 5,000. We can let 5,000 illegals come across the border. Was it daily or weekly? But once we get to 5,000, we'll shut the borders. And they were like, yeah, that's how you fight illegal immigration. You pick a number and you count how many come through the border. And when you get to that number, you just shut the border down. Now, I know okie doke when I hear it. Come on now. Nobody was going to be counting those numbers. I would say probably when they got to 10, 12,000 a day, they would say, all right, guy, let's wrap it up. Let's call it a day. We'll do this again tomorrow. That's a stupid plan. It's a dumb plan. So thank goodness it didn't pass. But you hear nothing much else about it. Not about her positions on the border. Well, the border is secure. The border is secure. No, it's not. It's not, but she has said that. And even Chuck Todd from NBC, even he said, are you serious?
Would you call the border secure?
The border is secure.
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
By the way, I was just doing a little calculating. That bill that Kamala keeps talking about, the one that Donald Trump derailed, it was 5,000 migrants a day, illegals a day. Well, calculating that 5,000 times 365 is 1,825,000. So they were still going to be putting record numbers of illegals into the country, only they would have had the approval of Congress. It would have given Joe Biden plausible denial. He didn't do an executive order to get it done. These people are jokes. Jokes. So I'm kind of getting this now. Keep those top issues, these hot button issues, these issues that affect Americans most, play them down and certainly don't ask her much about it. And that is what it is. It's going to be that way. That's how they operate. But we have got to stop playing around. Voters, let's stop playing. If you are a likely Harris supporter, you really have to stop playing. Because all you need to do is just a little bit of homework, and you will understand why she must not become president. On the economy, she's got some flighty ideas that make no sense to any economist. Yet she says, yeah, but economists say that Trump's tax cuts are going to just break this country. He's just helping billionaires. No, he's not just helping billionaires. He didn't just help billionaires before. He helped all Americans. Jobs were plentiful. Savings were up. People were buying homes. So no, that's just not true. And then when you look at immigration, well, we already know what the situation is with that. But she has said that we should let these people in and then give them amnesty. She has said that. And when she was the border czar, and let's not get into this, well, no, she wasn't really the border czar. Okay, she didn't wear a crown on her head saying, hello, I'm the border czar. But she was charged with the responsibility to get to the core of the problem. And even that was silly because we all know what the core is. We cannot fix these other countries, but we can fix our border. It's really just that simple. Once we fix our border, then maybe we can look at some of the other issues in Central America and South America. And as a matter of fact, people have come from like 180 countries. We can't go all around the world fixing those problems. So that's why that job that they say they gave her to find out the root cause of this influx of migrants, she never did anything about that. We cannot play around. In just the 3 years of the Biden administration, conservative figures put it at about 16 million, but Border Patrol agents put it at over 20 million. And some people say at least 30 million people have come into this country. They turned a blind eye. What do you really think will happen if she becomes president? On the issue of violent crime, which again doesn't even rank high at all on those who are most likely to support Kamala Harris. But violent crime is an issue. And in one of those debates, she said that Donald Trump was just basically lying, that even the FBI says that violent crime is down. Well, there are some things that work into that as well. Fewer people are reporting crimes because police responses across the board slower. People have reported waiting 2 hours for the police to show up. And I'm not blaming the police. Police numbers are down. So many people have walked away from the force. And I wonder why that is. Could it be that the environment, particularly since the George Floyd riots, has become very anti-police? Could it be that during those riots, when these anarchists and these radical Black Lives Matter people, when they were fighting the police, when Kamala Harris went on television and said, they're doing what they're going to do and they should keep on doing it. They shouldn't stop. And if you want to donate, let's get serious here. We're playing games with ourselves. Oh, she's so different. Her vibe is so cool. She's so funny. Yeah, it's time for a woman. It's time for a woman of color. You thought I was going to say black woman, didn't you? We've been through that already. No, now is not the time to play games. This country is in a near crisis mode. I don't really say crisis because there's still a lot of good stuff going on here. But just you wait. Just you wait. Let's get serious. Throw off this, this magical spell-like thing that's going on with so many people. I talk to some people, not a lot though, but I do talk to people who are like, gosh, we cannot let this guy back in. She's just going to be great for the country. Really? Based on what? Based on what? Well, she says her values haven't changed. She's flip-flopped on almost everything because she also wants this nationalized health care. Oh, she said it, but that's not what Americans want. Americans want better health care, but they don't want the government controlling their health care. Just think about the things that the government controls now. Do you want to be lumped in with every single person in this country waiting for your health care?
And the idea is that everyone gets access to medical care, and you don't have to go through the process of going through an insurance company. Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
Who here would abolish their private health insurance in favor of a government-run plan? Yeah. All right.
Yes, she raised her hand. Nobody wants that. She's flip-flopped on everything. She believes that taxpayers should pay for sex change surgeries for criminals, for people in prison.
And when I learned about the case, I worked behind the scenes to not only make sure that that transgender woman got the services she was deserving. So it wasn't only about that case. I made sure that they changed the policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care that they desired and need.
She believes a whole lot of crazy stuff. Well, wait. She used to believe it, but now she's changed. She's never explained. She's never given a reason as to how she came to change her mind. What was it that made her no longer believe in socialized medicine? What was it? She's never explained that. Well, why should she? She's never been asked. But one thing she has consistently said is that her values haven't changed. And I believe her. Yes, I do. I think she has the same values she's always had. And I personally believe that her values are Marxist in nature, Maoist in nature, socialist in nature, just a little bit of all of that. I believe that. Those are her values. But she had to play a little funny game with us. Well, I no longer believe in that. No, I don't. But I believe when a person tells you who they are, believe them.